Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is patch number 3 for 3.8, Wave 1 PTU, or PTU in general, I guess. This patch dropped last night, kind of late for me. At that point, I was already in bed watching TV, so I was like, well, I could roll the dice and hope that they released a stable build, or I could keep watching this movie and go to sleep. And obviously, I chose going to sleep. I haven't bothered looking into whether or not this build is stable, so this is going to be completely let's see what happens type situation. Unfortunately, I'm having to start all over again at Area 18 because when I logged into this build, I was saved to a rest stop that I managed to get to after trying literally all day yesterday to get anywhere but Area 18. I finally got to a rest stop. The server 30k'd, but it evidently saved my spawn point. Good stuff. Happy about that. Logged in this morning after downloading this new build, and the elevators in the habs weren't working. So I was literally trapped inside of the rest stop. So I had to delete my data and recopy over to the PTU. So here we go, all over again. Yeah, I'm kind of waking up a little bit still, Mr. Fabulous, but shouldn't be too bad. Mostly I'm trying not to be super loud because, what do you call it, the girlfriend's sleeping because she works third shift. So she's literally just going to bed, whereas I'm waking up.
From the most current trends to new classics, at Kasaba Outlet you'll always find the latest styles at the lowest prices.
Smart buy.
Need help? A friendly Kasaba associate will be happy to assist.
Smart buy.
From a night in the town to that big day making deals, Kasaba Outlet helps you dress to impress with fashion for less.
Smart buy.
It's so much fun going through the motions of this over and over and over again.
The hottest clothes and trendiest accessories from across the empire brought straight to you. Hunt for your latest fashion find at Kasaba Outlet, where you get more cool for your cred.
Good purchase.
Welcome to Kasaba Outlet. Everyday clothing at everyday prices.
I would say like primary thing for what is necessary to be successful server-side OCS is the server's actually working. Let's start with that and go from there.
Smart buy.
Need help? A friendly Kasaba associate will be happy to assist.
Alright, let's see what happens. Hey, WMB, good morning, man. Excuse me. Hey, wee Blackie, how's it going?
With convenient connection trams across all major commercial areas of Arcot,
On the upside,
is business travel made
this is longer than it would have lasted yesterday, so progress has been made, it seems. I'm just gonna have to live in fear of literally every elevator.
trams now approaching. City Flight is proud to be the official transportation service provider.
Hey, Blue Raven.
The Arcot Metropolitan Tram.
We're gonna see. So far, so good, but you know. Kingbeard, so the elevators aren't working in the rest stop habs, or at least not the one at Microtech L1. So I'm always terrified when elevators in general aren't working in Star Citizen because you never know if it's just one spot or if it's multiple. Yeah, dead on fabulous. It's always like, you know, a toss up. Is it gonna be the elevator that gets me, the ladder, or am I gonna just morph and become part of my ship and die? Part of the crew, part of the ship.
Now arriving.
Well done. Well done. That was a good one. Stay away from me. I don't trust that they actually fix that shit. Every time I see another player, I'm like, oh god, don't come near me. Hey Heinz, how's it going?
From transforming worlds to
Alright,
exploring the stars, our corp is proud to bring the universe.
Oh, nice. They got rid of all the duplicates from claiming.
Investing in tomorrow's future.
Your ship has been delivered to the
Legit, by the
foreign
time I
landing
gave
pad.
up yesterday, after trying to get off of Very 18 from server 30k errors over and over again, I don't even know how many freelancers I had. It was getting a little ridiculous.
Thank you for visiting our corp, Stanton's capital of commerce. Whatever your transaction, we wish you a beneficial and prosperous stay.
It'd be nice if they hurried up and opened up the mole to peasants. And then we can do some some channel drunk mining. I don't know if they fix this or not, so let's see if this goes the way it's supposed to. They have not. Uh-oh. That's a problem. It really, really pushed me in. Ah! Alright, we're good. As you were. Nope. What? Why? I didn't even... Okay. I guess I'm getting into bed. Yeah, King Bear. The jump times have been drastically shortened. They're much faster now. It definitely makes it more accessible for people who are trying to play Star Citizen casually, right? Like you don't have 3 hours or more at a time to sit down and just go ham on Star Citizen, right? Like let's say you want to jump on, do a couple missions or something like that. It's a lot easier to do that now. It's also because you can get around the system so much faster, it makes it a lot easier to meet up with other friends who might not be saved to the same station you are. It's definitely it helps more people out than it hurts. I'll put it that way. Like I personally like the longer quantum travel times, but I can absolutely see the reason for the shorter ones, and I can definitely sympathize with people who don't have all day to play video games like I do. Yeah, you have a good one, Blue Raven. I'll see you later.
You are clear to launch.
So I think overall the idea is good. I know a lot of like ragey nerds are throwing a fit that their big ships aren't as fast as little ships now, evidently, which I think is absolutely stupid. Like the amount of people who are sitting there crying like, oh, well, my carrier, how am I supposed to make use of my carrier now? And it's like, so you want CIG to just fuck literally everybody's gameplay so you can feel like your carrier is important. That's where you're at? Wow, you're a real considerate piece of shit, aren't you?
Thank you, and please visit again.
Yeah, absolutely, Sky. It's one of my biggest gripes with like landing in Star Citizen is the way that the like you just landing and takeoff, right? Especially from a hangar, you can't see like anything around you in most of these cockpits. The Freelancer, thank God, actually does have an like overhead bubble. Excuse me. But it's super frustrating trying to land because, I mean, the view out of the front is already bad enough, and then there's literally nothing below. It's one of the reasons that I gravitate so much towards ships with cockpits like the 600i or the Mercury Star Runner, and hopefully the Ares still has some of that underside view. But yeah, it's really hard, especially when like they're. I mean, you can go external camera, which is basically what I end up doing 90% of the time, anyways, because it's super hard to fucking land without being able to see anything. There's no like reliable marker or anything like that, or way to tell what's underneath you, especially if you're like landing on a planet and stuff like that. But hopefully eventually they add in like an external landing camera, so it's something like I don't feel super dirty and cheater using, I guess. Yeah, it's really weird, Mr. Fabulous, right? So, like, well, let me turn this down a little bit more. They used to have that landing camera, right, where you'd see the hologram and yourself related to the pad. And I believe they got rid of that when, what do you call it, planetary landings came in. And, like, their excuse that they've been using is that it's really hard to make a 3D landing hologram with randomly generated terrain or proc gen terrain, right? But then you look at Elite Dangerous and they have literally trillions of procedurally generated planets, and like their 3D landing hologram works literally all over all of them. So clearly it's not that impossible of a thing to implement. Hey, Bad Food Blog, how's it going? You know, I just wanna experience the patch the way it's intended to be experienced by CIG, and so far, you know, day one was pretty 30k heavy. It was kind of hard to do anything, and then the second build was just fucking completely broken. Like, I couldn't do anything. I got on yesterday morning, right? I think we streamed for about an hour of me trying to do anything, and it just kept failing over and over. I got off, took about a 2-hour break, and then got back on and tried to get back into the PTU to do some of the volunteer regression items. And I literally spent at least 6 hours trying to get out of Area 18 and never succeeded. I would get up and I would set a course for like microtech, right? And I'd go into quantum jump. But the thing is, while you're in quantum jump, the servers can 30k and you have no way of knowing unless you're like out of your ship seat or out of your cockpit seat doing stuff, because there's no interaction happening, right? You're just blankly sitting there waiting. So I would drop out of quantum at microtech and be like, yeah, I finally made it, and then the error message would pop up. Yeah, I think that's one of the super, like, coolest things ever, Bad Food Blog, is like when you're landed on a planet in Elite and you're driving around in the SRV and you're like, and then you call for your ship to come pick you up. It's so cool watching that thing like warp in and then it literally comes down and lands somewhere. Like, it's a little picky on terrain, in my opinion. Like, sometimes it gives me a real trip to go get to my ship once it lands, but the fact that it does it is super fucking nice. I don't know WMD. I haven't tried. I usually avoid trees. When was that, Dino Hansen? Oh, let me chat back up in case I missed it. Yeah, for sure, Sky. Like, it's not perfect, right? There are times when I feel like I'm sitting there in my SRV in a pretty flat open area, and it just evidently isn't big enough or something like that which I could understand if I was in like a cutter or a Corvette, but typically I use something, either a small or medium pad for exploring or doing planet side stuff. So it's definitely frustrating when you're like, oh yeah, please come land, and they don't. They're like, oh no fam, that area ain't good for me. I'm gonna go over here 2 kilometers. Come meet me. Okay, yeah, Dino. I only asked because, like, what you're describing sounds like when they had the VTOL flight model in, which was 3.6, I think. I think they took it out by 3.7. And yeah, it was very poorly executed, and a lot of people really did not like it. And the situation you're describing where you end up upside down inside the hangar is a lot of people's experience with VTOL. Oh, for sure, Corto. For sure. That was honestly, like, that was one of the biggest driving points for me in backing Star Citizen versus Elite Dangerous, because they were both kind of going through Kickstarter around the same time. And I remember looking at Elite Dangerous, and like all of their artwork they were showing off were basically the pancake Cobra and the Sidewinder, and I'm like, okay, so I have these flat pancake ships that look pretty fucking stupid, or I have this other game where all these ships look really fucking cool and unique and interesting. Which one am I gonna pledge for? Yeah, I'll go with unique and interesting for 100, Bob. Thank you. like, I understand the reason why, right? Like, a lot of people constantly tell me, like, oh yeah, well, it's because Elite was trying to stay, you know, nostalgic and live up to the legacy stuff, and I get that. God damn. But it was a terrible fucking mistake. That's cool for people who played the original Elite, but there were, like, many ways you could do callbacks to the original Elite Dangerous to the original Elite series, to, you know, give the nostalgia to the old fans. But if you're trying to, like, kickstart to a generation that possibly never played Elite, it's not going to pan out well when your ships look like dog shit. Yeah, I agree. I think the Chieftain's probably one of my favorite ships in that game, especially outside of, like, the Imperial Guatemala line. Yeah, I don't think a lot of people would disagree with you, Mr. Fabulous, actually. Like, a lot of people, in my experience, have said that they would much rather have, like, one small system that is just loaded out with, like, actual content and stuff to do, versus CIG trying to have tons of planets, multiple systems, and they're all kind of lackluster in terms of content and what they actually bring to gameplay. Like, I think that's been a pretty... even among, like, fans, in my experience, that's been a pretty common theme between, like, what they wanted out of Star Citizen's PU. Oh, for sure, Dino. Like, that's like the worst part about cargo hauling in this game is there's so many risks to it, and none of them are, like, expected risks. Like, you have server 30Ks, you have client crashes, you have ships bugging out, you have random flight model shit like the fucking VTOL crap. Like, just so many different factors that can completely screw you out of your cargo and all of the UEC you spent purchasing it, and none of them are, like, intended gameplay risks. I don't think we're going to see cargo insurance anytime soon, personally. I mean, it would be nice. It's definitely a feature that, like, makes sense, right? Like, if you're going to be hauling a load worth 500,000 UEC, you'd probably insure it, right? Hey Dave, how you doing? Good morning to you. So far, so good. I think the servers are stable, so that's definitely a check in the pro column and a little bit of an ease on my blood pressure. Uh-oh. I'm not moving. Why aren't I moving? No. No, I can't get up either. Did it 30K. Is it still doing this shit? Really? Really? What the fuck, CIG? Unbelievable. I guess they're too busy fucking giving Argo moles to chick streamers and trying to show off their next fucking concept sale. They can't bother actually fixing the fucking servers too. That's hot. Yeah, really it's my own fault for jinxing it by being like, oh yeah, the server seems stable. Yeah, I don't foresee anyway they unfuck this in Time Wiser. I definitely like it's fucking Wednesday. They have like 3 days left to not have a fucking shit build, and they haven't shown any sign of being able to turn this around so far. I suspect there's not going to be a lot of Star Citizen play over the holiday. All right, maybe it was a one-off, you know? Maybe we just caught a bad server at a bad time, you know? That could happen, right? I heard, you know, what the fuckosaurus said the servers are great, so it's got to be a fluke, right? And now we start this process over again. Alright. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine because it was a one-off. Obviously. It was just a random fluke that I happened to catch on stream, right? The servers are actually working really well. Yeah, it's really weird, Sky. Like it's super unreliable, persistent. There are times when like you'll crash or the server will crash or whatever, and you'll log back in where you were. But in my experience yesterday with server 30Ks, almost every time it was a hard reset back to the hab. I think one time I respawned inside of a ship. And then the next server 30K put me back in the hab and I had to claim that ship, so it didn't even fucking matter. Yeah. Alright, we're good. Fuck you, train. So yeah, like, I think there's supposed to be persistence, but it's not reliable enough that you can count on it, if that makes sense. Like, if I had a Caterpillar, I would not want to haul a full bay of cargo with this level of persistence because it's so hit or miss, you can't rely on it. know if it's on high or very high. Honestly, I don't even know if the sliders work anymore. Alright, it's on very high. They didn't before. Like, before the actual, like, graphic settings didn't actually do anything in-game. I think I've been getting somewhere around, like, 40, usually. Yeah, exactly, Mr. Y. Like, it's so inconsistent that, like, it's not reliable enough to count on.
It takes all of us working together to keep our corps safe and secure.
I miss you, freelancer.
Every time.
Alright, let's try the heroin.
Your ship has been delivered to the following landing pad.
Hello, and welcome to Riker Memorial.
So allegedly,
Servicing
the excuse I've seen a lot of backers saying is that the servers aren't actually all failing. It's that when you talk to Miles Eckhart, it causes a server crash. I don't know if I really believe that, just because I've had a couple servers where it was literally like me and nobody else really on it, and it's still 30k, and I sure as fuck wasn't talking to Miles Eckhart. So I feel like it's just a lot of excuse making right now to kind of like cover the fact that this patch really sucks. Fuck, man. Alright. Yeah, it's gotta be chill. Alright, we're good. I'm like fucking... I'm so bad at paying attention to which hangar it is.
You are clear to launch.
Oh shit, we got a side hangar. Yeah, that's how I feel about it, Sky. Like, it's such a relief, and like you can kind of look at the whole thing a lot less fanatically when you're not like invested into it at all. It's cool. It's nice to see that the no-fly zone is still covering the fucking hangars. There's literally no reason coming out of there that I should have had any no-fly zone override bullshit. Yeah, like, visually I love the Herald. I just don't ever see a reason for any of it. Yeah, man, the no-fly zone, it's frustrating because, like, I like the new, like, outline box that they did for it versus like the walls of death. It makes coming into these spaceports so much less like eye fucking gore. But like at the same time, it's almost worse now because of how much spam they put in the front of your fucking prompt. Like it's just nonstop fucking restricted area above, restricted area below, restricted area to the left, to the right, below, above, 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 below. And it's like, fuck, dude, I get it. There's a fucking restricted area near me. Alright, we can go fast now. Fuck no, it does not have VR yet. I would be amazed if this game gets VR at all. But if it does, it's not going to be for fucking years from now. Like, so long. I mean, just the amount of, like, character tied animation stuff that you're gonna go through. Like I handle VR very fucking well. I think the only time I've ever had like any kind of issues with like nausea in VR was playing Elite Dangerous doing the SRV on a super fucking bumpy planet. And it was just like non-stop fucking flipping and rolling and banging. It was fucking chaotic as fuck. Like I literally couldn't control my SRV because the terrain was so fucking bad. And even then it was pretty light. And in this game, just the way animations are driven and like move your player around and force you to do shit, I don't think people's tummies would handle it very well. I could be wrong, but I'm gonna go ahead and bet on that. I don't know if I bet on ED2 coming out before Star Citizen. I guess if Frontier was a little bit more open about like what they're doing with the franchise, maybe I would weigh in on that bet, but because they're just fucking terrible about. That's new. That background. Doesn't normally look like that. I don't think, right? Huh. Alright, well, that's cool. Alright guys, I managed to test the regression thing for last build. The Herald utility seat now has noise again. We did it. Yeah, it just seems weird, WMD, if they're gonna do an Elite Dangerous 2, then any major expansion to Elite Dangerous seems kind of counterproductive. Like, why bother with whatever the big 2020, well, probably 2021 now, secret is going to be, if you needed to just rewrite everything anyways? That's a big fat negative, King Bear. The Herald does not do anything apart from just fly. God only knows when we'll get data running. And honestly, like, ugh, with the speed that the Herald goes in Quantum, I wouldn't really use it for data running anyways. It's one of those, like, it would be more efficient to send a pigeon type things because it's just so fucking slow. I don't know, like, it's supposed to be this quick data runner and it's literally like the slowest fucking ship in the game. For Quantum, at least. Obviously, it's fast in like a tunnel or in a straight line. Fuck, sorry. Like reading chat while doing that. So like, it's really quick in a straight line for cruising speed, but that's literally the only thing it's good for. Oh, Nava Bros, dude. Don't count on that news van getting any gameplay for a long fucking time. Yeah, it's unfortunately just like, I mean, it's a beautiful ship. Like for being Drake, right? Like I love the styling on it. It looks really fucking cool. I mean, it's literally like two giant fucking rocket engines with a fucking cockpit strapped on the front. How do you not love that? But it just functionally is terrible. Hey Gumby, how's it going? I wouldn't say I've written it off. I would definitely say that I don't really play it anymore. I kind of cover it during certain patches, like the milestone patches, and that's about it right now. Yeah, some nice this just in toilet break. And of course, I'm sure you would be a bro and get a disclosure form, right? So that it would be all on the up and up. Full consent for that toilet news. I mean, like, data running sounds nice in theory. It's just that, like, honestly, I don't even see how that would be that hard of a gameplay loop to introduce, because I'm assuming it's going to basically operate the same way as the box delivery missions. Oh, okay, I got you, Noah. So this is going to be more of like one of those shady companies operating on Pornhub type deals where it's totally on the up and up. These people definitely know that they're being filmed. That kind of thing. That's kind of what we're trying to find out, Sirius. I thought they did. I haven't looked into it, right? Like, I got on and immediately started up the stream after I downloaded the patch. I didn't bother looking to see if people were complaining about the 30k issue still happening or not. And at first it seemed like it was fixed. I was like, oh, this is great. You know, they finally fucking fixed the 30ks, and then we made it to, we made it to Microtech and then crashed. So, possibly not. I'm hoping that it was like a one-off, right? Because I'm willing to, like, give the game the benefit of the doubt and say, hey, maybe I was just on a bad server. You know, they're still out there even on 3.7. Way less common, but they're out there. So we're waiting to see. If I don't manage to make it to Microtech again, I'm gonna start getting a little suspicious that the server 30k problem is still a problem. Yeah, I think a lot of people agree with you there, Mr. Fabulous. Like, let's talk Pyro. Pyro's cool, new system. It looks visually, like, it looks really amazing. But if I had to choose between getting Pyro or getting salvaging or repairing or refueling, I would choose one of those gameplay mechanics in a heartbeat over fucking a new system. I would love to have more gameplay versus more space to do the limited gameplay that the game already has. Honestly, Ethan, I have no idea. I would love to know. Like, I would love to see actual like metrics on concurrent player base, how many servers are operating, stuff like that. That would be great. I would love to see those statistics. They'll show you everybody's frame rate and what hardware they're running and all that stuff, but they definitely won't show you how many people are actually playing daily or how many servers are running and all that shit. Yeah, no, they definitely not Heinz. I agree. There's no way they would ever release that. It's one of the nice things about Steam, right? Like, it's very hard for developers to hide the fact that their game is dead on Steam because you have Steam player base. What do you call it? Steam charts. So you can literally like pull up a game and look at like how many people have been playing this month, how many people have been playing today, and like very quickly gauge if a game is dead on like whether it's even worth buying into it because the population's already fucking gone. So yeah, it would be amazing if CIG had that level of transparency. Unfortunately, that I don't think it would be a cold day in hell when that happened. I think that's kind of a theme for Star Citizen Dino, is that like a lot of these systems and cinematic experiences that Chris thinks up for Star Citizen, they are that way, right? Where like, oh, that was weird. Where they look cool and they're genuinely like interesting the first couple times you do something, but then after a while you're like, ugh, this again. But I think that's kind of like one of the big problems with Star Citizen, is that so many of his mechanics and gameplay systems that he puts in are like almost cinematically type based, right? Like, oh man, this is really beautiful, this is really neat, blah blah blah. Hold that there. But then after you've done it a while, you're like, okay, well, I'm fucking over this Lorville tram. If I have to fucking ride this thing one more time, I'm gonna fucking kill myself. Hey, Gia, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Man, right about here, I'll do.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
This is probably like my biggest gripe with the new flight model, is some of these ships take so long to change their velocity over. It's just so, like, it's not fun to fucking fly anymore.
Have a pleasant stay.
That's, I mean, this might ruffle some feathers with some people, even on this channel, but like, fuck the people who go on and on about like, oh, I'm after the realism, I'm after the flight model, you know, the physics of it. Like, it's not real anyways.
Thank you.
So all you're doing is promoting a really shitty, not fun flight model for the sake of like pretending that it's realistic, so you can be like, yeah, I play Star Citizen. It's the most realistic space game ever made. And it's like, dude, no. Oh, fuck me. I need to feel. It's just like, cool, yeah, let's make the game worse because you want to fucking be a fucking nerd. Sweet, man. Why not? And you're back down.
Landing complete. Have a pleasant stay.
Oh, I don't think, like, at all, WMD, that Theory of War is gonna be big outside of the people who are already Star Citizen fucking herders. Like, for one, just quality wise, right? Like, if you want to play a game that has combined arms in a sci-fi genre, there's PlanetSide 2. It's 1,000 times less janky. Fucking players don't teleport around nearly as much, and it's on a much grander fucking scale.
Thank you. And please visit
With like systems that are way smoother and way more functional, like just in every way better than Star Citizen. So it's not like it's going to be appealing to people that are not backers already, right? And in terms of like just in general, I'll never play Theater of War. I'll do it for a review video when it finally releases with 3.9. And that will be the only time you're going to see me play Theater of War. Like, Star Citizen FPS is just so janky and, like, desynced and teleporty and shit. Like, that's not fun. If I want to play a shooter like that, I would go back to 1995 and play a fucking Counter-Strike when everybody was on fucking dial-up. Like, fuck. What? How do people celebrate FPS gameplay in Star Citizen is beyond me. I have no idea. Because it is literally like the trashiest level of quality I've ever seen in a shooter. Like, it would be a totally different situation if, like, the game actually was fluid in FPS combat, right? Like, people didn't jank all over the place and teleport around and shit. Excuse me. But that's not the case. So, like, how do you want me to take it seriously? How, like, when people are applauding how fucking revolutionary Theater of War is, I'm like, are you high? Yeah, Ethan, I did do the 890 jump mission. I was trying to wait until the servers were stable to do it on stream with, like, some people from the channel to just kind of, like, maximize the fun of it. But you know, I kind of got tired of like not being able to do anything, so I was like, okay, 890 jump mission, let's go, because I was saved to Port Tressler or whatever, the orbital station for Microtech. So the mission was like literally right there. It was like 50 kilometers away from the Port Tressler. So I was like, you know what, I'll go do it really quick, so then at least I know like what I'm doing and I can explain it to the rest of the guys whenever we get around to actually being able to all play together. And they just, you know, they stood there. I mean, they shot at my ship, but they all stood like in place doing nothing. And I just sat there with the Harbinger and just nuked them all from outside of the hangar. So then I get off, go inside. Evidently I got a crime stat for killing them. My bad. I think there was like a hostage in that hangar bay or something, I guess. I don't know. I'm telling myself that's what happened, at least, because otherwise the crime stat doesn't make any sense. But it was like all at once. It was like crime, aggravated assault, crime, violent crime, murder, crime, blah blah blah. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm criminal as fuck now for that one shot into the hangar. Let's not do that again, even though they were all shooting at me from the fucking hangar. I'm not sure what else my course of action was there. Fair enough. So yeah, I go inside of the 890 and they're all just kind of like standing there. And it, you know, the thing that like really pisses me off too about the AI in Star Citizen is that like I was really hoping they were going to do something different than a lot of other games where let me turn this down just a tad. Where like a lot of other games are like, oh yeah, our AI is so challenging, but really it just means that the AI cheats, right? Like, as soon as you come around a corner, the AI will bust a 180 and fucking shoot you in the face, right? And I was really hoping that Star Citizen was gonna find ways of making AI be challenging without cheating, but it looks more and more and more like they're just gonna have super cheaty AI, right? So like, you could be sneaking out around a corner and then all of a sudden the AI in the 890 jump just fucking turns around and like stares at you and like, okay, cool, yeah, I am here. Thank you for automatically knowing that. That's very fair. I appreciate that. And then like you look at the way the ships behave in Arena Commander. I haven't done a whole lot of AI fighting in the PU just because I don't care about combat as much anymore. But I was testing some loadouts in the 3.8p PTU in Arena Commander. And like it's just crazy watching the way the AI flies. Like it's 100% does not fit the flight model at all. Like they'll just instantly turn around, fucking fly straight at you, just suddenly fucking shift off in a completely different direction. It's like they have old flight model controls, and then we still have like the new shitty dumbed down one. Why would I feel stupid? Yeah, okay. Please elaborate why I would feel stupid. I would love to hear your just fucking fountain of wisdom. Like, you have to be a real stupid motherfucker to have the limited intellect to be like, oh, well, if this guy said something was bad fucking in 2017 and suddenly they finally fixed something in 2019, he must feel stupid because we really showed him. Yeah, CIG, it took us 3 years. We showed him on one thing. Like that, is that where you're at? That's where you're coming from? Because the game is epic. Okay, dude. That's fucking adorable, man. Ooh. Oh, man. I hope you're a girl. I really hope you're a girl because you're going to make some guy so fucking happy with how easy you are to please. Like, your husband would be like, oh, fucking God bless. Thank you, Lord, for how fucking simple and just completely incompetent I can be in order to satisfy my spouse. Oh, thank you, thank you. I think like that's one of the most adorable things about my channel, Dino, right? Is like the amount of like people outside of it who come in here and they're like, ah, you fucking haters and your hate cult, blah blah blah, and it's literally like the majority of people in this fucking channel want the game to succeed and do well, because we would rather have a good game and be like, yeah, well, Chris proved us wrong, than, you know, have Star Citizen fail. But like they're so caught up in like trying to find ways to excuse criticism and like just avoid it entirely and discredit any amount of criticism at all, because they mentally can't handle it, that like they have to like build this wall around Star Citizen where anybody who's mean, they want it to die, they want it to fail, oh man, and then they celebrate the most mundane things with just the most extravagance, that it's just so fucking adorable. You're like, wow, okay, yeah. I mean, like, I've legit said that like there are good things in 3.8 that are major quality of life fixes, but like this isn't by any means like suddenly the best fucking game ever made. And the people who are acting like 3.8 is literally the second coming of Christ, it's so fucking weird. It's so weird. I just think it's adorable that like these people act like literally every individual critic has the capacity to ruin the game. Like, it's so weird to me. Like they give you so much clout and power and influence in like their eyes towards the project, but at the same time they're like, you're nothing, you mean nothing to this project, just fucking leave. It's so like everything about the fanatical fans is just contradictory, and it's why I can't stand that portion of the community so much. And it's like, it's a shame because they are by far the loudest portion of the community, and it literally taints the entire Star Citizen community to outsiders. But they're too stupid to realize that. Yeah, I generally agree with you, T-Love. I think a lot of stuff that they're adding, even if it's not fully implemented in 3.8 right now, stuff that is supposed to be in by the time 3.9 comes around, is major progress in the right direction for the game. For sure. I have no problem giving CIG that credit. I don't think that 3.8 is an amazing, flawless patch by any means. But it's definitely a step in the right direction, more so than a lot of previous patches have been. I haven't watched the BBC Click interview. I don't really care about that kind of stuff. It's the same thing with like the Newsweek articles. Like, I don't get what they're doing. You know, like you're not bringing up anything new. You're just giving Chris a platform to market, basically. So it's like, okay, cool. This is all stuff I've heard for the last 8 years. It doesn't change anything. Like, I kind of feel like Star Citizen has been covered so many times by various fucking gaming outlets that, like, there's really nothing to interview anybody at CIG over at this point unless there's going to be something new. Oh, does he legit say you don't understand game development? I'm sure he does. Chris Roberts, man, between like the fanatical backers and Chris Roberts, like those are the only reasons that I would want Star Citizen to fail, is just so that like they can get their fucking back due fucking karma. Like that guy's just, his ego is so fucking insane. It's so weird that he literally can never accept fault. Like, people like that are just shitty people. It's supposed to be like that, Whiskey. The problem is that they wipe servers. Like, it's like that right now. I've seen a lot of people who have been away from the project. Like, either they backed a long time ago or they're outsiders kind of like just keeping tabs on it. Ship purchases in game with credits are live right now. The problem is they wipe every 3 months roughly. So by the time you're actually making like decent progress and starting to get some of the ships that you probably want, the servers wipe and then you lose all of it. The big promise with 3.8 is the start of persistence, and CIG is supposedly moving away from wiping every time they release a new milestone patch, which is their quarterly updates. The problem I have with that claim, though, is that they left it very kind of open-ended by saying, hey, we'll still wipe if, you know, we need to for database reasons or some other, you know, blah, blah, blah. So, like, he kind of left a loophole in there for him to still wipe. So I'm kind of waiting to see what happens, right? Like, if we go from 3.8 to 4.0 and they still haven't wiped, I would say that's at least a first good faith step towards persistence. Like, if they need to wipe on 4.1 for some database reason, I'd be like, you know what, that's pretty fair to backers, right? Like, they got 3 patches out of it without having to restart from ground zero. That's fair, right? But that's the big promise that's coming with 3.8 and persistence, and like why ship purchases and ship rentals will start to actually matter. Because right now, they kind of, I mean, they're in game, but they don't really matter for the low end player. Like, if you have like one of the base starter ships, right, like an Aurora or a Mustang, then you have a real serious grind to like make substantial credits and get into better ships. Yeah, if you haven't flown for a while, Hendrik, the Cutlass actually got a full rework. What, I think a year and a half ago? Somewhere around there. It was a little bit controversial. Some people really don't like the reworked Cutlass. Personally, I think it looks amazing. It's definitely a really, really good ship. Like, when people ask me for recommendations, I'm like, oh, hey, what's a good starter ship? And I basically go, okay, do you want to spend the bare fucking rock bottom minimum and kind of hate your life? Do you want to spend a little bit more and have some growing options, or do you want to spend about $100 and have a lot of flexibility? And if the answer is I want to spend about $100, I almost always recommend the Cutlass Black, because it's just such a well-rounded ship. It's not amazing, but it's such a well-rounded ship, and you have so many options with it in the game. In my opinion, if you're gonna spend that kind of money, that's the go-to ship. There is one jump marker, but it's at New Babbage, and I really didn't want to jump over New Babbage. That would be the other one that I usually recommend if somebody doesn't want to spend up to $100 down is get the Avenger Titan. The Avenger Titan gives you a pretty decent early tier fighter. It has a decent amount of cargo space, and it's pretty survivable. One of these days before I actually start up a stream, I need to look up which orbital marker has like the forest biome underneath it. Yeah, I totally get that, Whiskey, right? Like, a lot of people asked for that, and I think CIG teased something like that a long time ago, right? Where they were like, oh yeah, we'll maybe down the road re-release the older versions of these ships as like vintage models, or maybe cheaper rentals and stuff like that, right? Which I think would be great. Like, it would be really cool to see like the older 300s, the older Cutlass, older Hornets, stuff like that. But the problem I have with them promising that is that the amount of work it would take to visually overhaul them as well as update how they function in game, it seems like it would be a lot of work. And I have a feeling CIG won't actually follow through with that. So I'm not entirely sure if I believe that will ever happen. Yeah, like the old school Freelancer, the cockpit was fucking terrible, but like that landing gear staircase going up into the ship was so fucking flat. Yeah, that quantum, whatever the fuck Tony called it, that whole demonstration just really screams more. To me, it's on par with like the Sandman sitcom that many years past. Right? It looks neat, but I have every confidence that it was entirely made before the demo. What is with the way smoke and particles and shit look? I might need to like actually reinstall. I like dread the idea of like purging my user folder because I don't want to have to redo key bindings and shit. But I noticed this the other day and I was like, man, dust and shit does not look right. I'm pretty sure this is just me. Like I can't imagine that this is how it looks for everybody else because people be losing their fucking shit. Oh, come on, just fucking turn. Stop pretending there's a flight model and let me go down. Yeah, like that can't be how it's supposed to actually look. Like even with 3.8 being kind of the clusterfuck it is, that's got to be something that I have fucked up. I don't know. I don't think it does ISIS, but I heard somebody like making comments like it did the other day. Like they were like, "Oh man, do the storms actually like affect flight? Because I just got like blown into a mountain or some shit like that." So I don't think it does, but it might. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, this can't be how it actually is right now in game. I'm wondering like if it's something under my settings that I fucked up, or if it's that I need to reinstall. I mean, this can't be like actually what the dust particles look like in Star Citizen right now. There's no way. People would be talking about that, right? It has to be something on my end. That's what I'm thinking, Ark, is I'm probably gonna have to delete user folder and see if it fixes it. Actually, this is a great way to check persistence. Let's go ahead and bedlog really quick. I'm gonna fucking zap my user folder and see if that actually clears that up. And then we'll see if persistence or bedlogging is working. I'm definitely willing to say that this is probably on my end and not Star Citizen. I hope. I really fucking hope. No. Are you kidding me? Okay. That's weird. I don't understand why it's so hard for them to have like proper prompts in the beds. Like all of them are in different locations. All of them are hit or miss or just fucking awkwardly placed. It's so fucking weird. All right, let's see what happens real quick. Shit. I probably should have saved my bindings before doing this. Yeah, like that's my big issue with it, Sandman. Is like the inner thought system is just so fucking terribly implemented. Like it's just it's janky. Everywhere you go, it's fucking janky. None of it works well. So it lessens literally every other aspect of the game that it touches. I don't even like necessarily enjoy the scroll menu in Arma, but it's absolutely better than the inner thought system for sure. I would love that. I would fucking love to lose the auto climb, auto attach to ladder system so much. Alright, let's see what happens. I'm hoping this fixes it. Otherwise I might have to go actually look into like NVIDIA control panel. What? Well, that was a really quick error. Ah! Ah! Really? Well, I have a feeling we're going to respawn in a bed. See, like that's kind of an issue if like your persistence is built around logging back into the same server. Cuz that's no bueno. All right, looks like we got a slot. Motherfucker. Yeah, I agree with you, Brian. Cancel, I don't want to join it. I want to go on a new one. I've canceled it every time the prompts come up. It just really, really wants me to go back to that server, evidently. Like, really, really wants me to go back to that server. So, cancel. Thank God. Alright. I don't understand why this is still happening too, where like you respawn back into your bed, right? And the get out of seat button doesn't work. So you literally have to pray to God that the prompt shows up for you, otherwise you're fucked. Oh yeah, stretch, stretchy stretch. We've only had 130k so far, Bill. So it is indeed possible that what was going on was that the first server we got was just a bad server, or it was on the end of its life or whatever. Oh, I got spray on my eyes. I need a windshield wiper helmet. Yeah, okay. So it looks like it was just a bad user. There was something in my user folder. Because now it looks like I'm assuming it was supposed to look. Man, if this was Ark, this is absolutely a base building site. Oh god, I wish this game was so much further along than it is. That'd be so great. Hey Casey. Actually for once, it was not crash related, so all the particles, like dust particles, were like little blocks, which was something I think has been going on for a little while, because I noticed it in the 3.7 video I did a little while ago when I was driving the rover around. They were like block particles there too, so I think I just needed to finally purge my user folder. I usually don't between patches unless I absolutely fucking have to. So that's a big part on why I don't normally do it, but after like coming into land here, like when we were coming in, it literally looked like just a wave of squares were blowing through this valley. So I was like, okay, that can't be Star Citizen's fault. That has to be something on my end that needs to get cleared up. Hey Papa, how's it going? I appreciate it. We're just dicking around. I really wanted to see something besides the snow environments on Microtech. Even though, like, unfortunately, this kind of goes back to, you know, what I was talking about last week. Like, there's just nothing to do on these planets. Like, Microtech looks amazing. It really does. The different biomes on Microtech really, really are hands down the best work CIG's done. But there's just nothing to do, right? Like, you can sit here and take screenshots, right? Like, I guess that's the Star Citizen thing to do. Well, let me get this bad boy in here a little bit. Drop it down some. Maybe pop this up a little bit. Okay, yep. Get it over. Oh, we gotta get the plant life in here so we can be like, ah, man, look at the fidelity. Up a little bit higher. There we go. Granted, you guys can't see half of my screen, so I apologize. Oh man, what's the fucking focus button? I don't think it's that one. Yeah, whatever. Alright, and then we... Bam! Screenshot! What's up, guys? You like that shit? Peak Star Citizen right here. And that's basically what there is to do on the planets, you know? You're just taking pretty screenshots and going going to the other backers and being like, look guys, look at this picture I took. It's like, okay, cool. This was cool like 3 years ago. At this point, it's kind of worrisome that this is what we're all doing still. So, I mean, you know, it's frustrating because, like, it looks great, don't get me wrong, but, like, there's just nothing to do. I'm positive I did not land that close to that tree. I would not have landed that close to a tree. I mean, granted, my ship is slowly wobbling towards it for some reason in the opposite direction that it should be sliding on the hill. Alright, let's move this before it ends up in there. Is it breathable? It's supposed to be. Let's find out. YOLO, right? Hopefully it is. Helmet. Adequate. So far so good. I don't seem to be dying, so it is breathable. Okay, we need to actually move this thing because it's legit really hopping into that tree quick. Or not. That works too. Please, before this is not recoverable. I don't know why they fucked up so many vehicle enter animations now. It's so weird. Like the Freelancer's really fucked up. The Herald's fucked up. It seems like any of them that enter through an animation are just totally messed up right now. I can't power on. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. No.
Your systems are online.
What? What is it doing? What is this? Oh no, I know why. I don't know if I'm going to get off of this. This is going to be a problem. Alright. Let's just zero out for a second. I pray to God it doesn't blow up while I fix this. The key bindings. Yep, I'm sure. That should be basics to get me out of here, hopefully.
Overhead impact warning.
Roll, please. Roll, please. No!
Rear impact warning.
Alright, do this. This works too. Alright, we're good. We're good, guys. Alright, now we need to go turn that ground assist shit off. Because I'm pretty sure that was literally countering me as I was trying to fucking roll that bitch over. Oh, and all the look ahead mode shit's gonna be fucking back to default too. This is why I never delete my user folder unless I absolutely have to. Proximity assist. Fuck you. Fuck no. Never, 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 never. Alright. Alright guys, I apologize. I'm going to try and go through this as quickly as I possibly can. It might take a second. Cockpit. Quick exit. Where you at? Don't care about that. Shit's fine. Must go faster, must go faster. Yep, mining mode's all fine. Turrets. Alright, I think that's basics enough that I can kind of do what I'm doing. Alright. Let's go
Launch
for...
complete.
Oh, landing gear. Yeah, touch that. Cockpit, would that be under this or no? Landing. Ah, fuck, I need to change that. Wait.
Landing gear up.
Alright, sorry about that. Alright, let's go up to Port Tressler. And what do you call it? Grab something else. Actually, let me think here. Do I have a ground vehicle? I think I do. But I don't think you can pull one at New Babbage yet. So we might have to jump back to... Where's the nearest station? It's gonna have ground vehicles. Levski. Alright, what we'll do is go up to... Mick 1. We'll grab the Freelancer because it'll be a little bit quicker. And then we can go pick up some kind of ground vehicle. I'll find something that will fit. I don't remember if the Freelancer will fit a Cyclone or not. If not, we'll have to get something really big.
Quantum drive is now on.
Hey Medicus, how's it going? Oh shit, you know what? I just realized what I did earlier. Sorry about that. I kind of turned down the wrong one. The new patch seems to be it's hand over fist better than the last build. This is definitely way better than the last build was. I haven't done a whole lot yet to really test this build out yet, so we'll see. Yeah, it's just, you know, it's hit or miss with these early PTU builds. Unfortunately, they're really turning these out kind of slow compared to normal. Like, normally we would have had multiple patches by now. And it seems like this one's just really going slow. So I don't know if, like, they're chasing stuff down or if they're just kind of, like, fuck it, I'm over it, it's almost holiday break, and just not motivated to really get stuff fixed or what the deal is. But usually they're a little bit more on top of fixing really bad PTU builds, and they've been kind of slow. I finally went back and rewatched that portion of the one stream where I passed out. That was pretty fucking funny, especially just chat in general, as everybody's like slowly building up to the Vanguard getting ready to just face plant into Microtech, and then it it hits the planet, falls flat, and then starts to go like skimming along the planet, but luckily the tail like hooks a rock which angles the Vanguard back up towards space, and because I had cruise control on, off it goes right back into space. Oh man, that was pretty amazing. Yeah, no, it's just because like my sleep schedule's been really fucked up this month. I don't know why. Like normally I'm pretty good at like switching between. So like Heather works third shift, right? And then I have my kids 50-50. So like a week on, week off, right? So I try to match her schedule when she's awake. That way like we can actually hang out and do shit. Otherwise I fucking just straight never see her because of like the schedule difference. Oh, it is right there. It's just fucking blotted out by the fucking sun. This will be really fun to approach. Anyways, so like I'm constantly bouncing back and forth between like this night owl schedule, and I have to take kids to school in the morning and be a functional adult during the day schedule. And last week just it happened that like a lot of shit kind of caught up with me, so I was like, okay, well, I'm up for like 36 hours straight. And then when I finally like finished and was like, okay, the kid's mom has them for a weekend or whatever, I can play Star Citizen. PTU just dropped. This works out great for me. And unfortunately, like I made it what? I think that was like a 2-hour stream, 2.5 hour, 3-hour stream. I made it like 2.5 hours and then I totally just passed out. But the thing was, I thought I was going to be good because, what do you call it? Oh shit, I don't have a keybind for decoupled. I thought I was going to be good because the servers kept 30K'ing, right? So my plan was, all right, next 30K, I'm going to call it, let everybody know that I'm going to go to bed because I'm literally falling asleep at my keyboard, but I'm good. I can make it. And then we got to Microtech and it didn't 30K. And I was like, well, this is going to be a long drive down to the planet. I hope to God I can stay awake. And I sure as hell did not. So that was fun. It was good times. I did not re-equip my helmet. Thank you, Allison. You're fucking looking out. God bless you. Holy shit. That would have been really unfortunate because I absolutely would have just hopped right out of this motherfucker and gone about my day and then died. Wow. Everybody else in chat was really either plotting and letting me just rush right into that fate or not looking out. God, this sun is just in like the worst spot. There's like no way for me to block it out and really fly. Okay, there we go. Alright, so once we land, I need to rebind coupled mode toggle.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
Yeah, that's one of the like the crazy things about Star Citizen Shadow is like listening to people who are having that experience, right? Where they're like, oh man, when this game first came out, I was like a little kid, and now I'm like starting college and blah blah blah, and I'm like, damn man, that's fucking nuts to think about.
Landing gear down.
Because I mean, like, I was already basically like at like a midpoint in my life, right? So like there weren't like any major life events for me to compare it to. But when I hear other people talk about like,
Landing complete.
I was gonna say I did have the gear down, right?
Chaff is on
When I hear other people comparing it to like going through major sections of their life, and they're like, oh hey, I'm fucking, when this came out I was a freshman in college, now I have like a full-time job and I'm starting a family and we're on our second kid and blah blah blah, and it's like, damn man, this game has been at it for a while, holy shit. Yeah, no, I'll leave testing that mechanic to another subsect of the Star Citizen backer base, because I'm sure they're testing weird shit like that in the bedroom of some 600 or 890 as we speak. Yeah, no, it will be in my will for my account to be deleted when I die, so that my kids are never sucked into this fucking game. Oh, I mean, like, I get it, right? Like, I've been playing World of Warcraft for fucking, God, I can't even think of how long, right? So I definitely understand it. It's just crazy to think about, because, like, I don't look at Star Citizen that way. Did it just 30k as I got here? Really? Yep. Fuck! So, yeah, in terms of the question, whoever asked it, I don't remember how the servers or this build was working. It's much better than yesterday's, but it's still not stable and reliable, I would say, right? Oh, absolutely thematic, right? Like, I feel like the backers for Star Citizen span a pretty wide range of age groups, and there are definitely a lot of backers for Star Citizen who are in the older age groups, right? And yeah, it's entirely possible that like they backed thinking that they were going to get to play this game before they died, and they very well might not. That's pretty crazy. All right, let's try and tune up some of this really quick. Launch cameras. All right, we made it through that one. That one's good. Not really concerned with that. Movement coupled. Where are you at? Oh, I need to change brake too. Where's that one at? Get out of there, kitty. Stop fucking with that shit. Alright, Oop. I think that's all the major stuff that I actually need to use for now, at least. And I can mess with the other stuff later on. No, you little butthole. Go. Shoot. Stop being a butthead. No. Alright, cool. Hey AJ. I mean, you know, like it's not entirely outside the realm of possibility that Star Citizen could still end up being a fun game. I don't think that they're ever going to actually live up to a lot of the things that they sold this game as, but I definitely don't think that it's not possible for Star Citizen to someday be an enjoyable space game. Just not on the scale and some of the grand, ridiculous promises that Chris has made over the years. So, I mean, I obviously criticized the shit out of the game and the company attached to it, but I don't think that necessarily means that, like I'm not trying to get people to be like, oh man, I wasted all my money. Because I don't think that that's entirely true. Like, it's totally possible that the game could still be good. I would say, like, caution in backing it for sure. Like, I would definitely urge anybody, even people who have the money to just throw it away, to be very careful about backing this game. That is a very dark lit corner. Holy shit. This is this is the equivalent of behind the porta potties or whatever at the truck stops, I'm guessing. This is where the space truckers go to do their dirty. Which way to go? Let's find out. Alright, that's admin office, so it's definitely not that way. I think that's one of the biggest things that bothers me about the new layouts for these is that the admin office is so far away from, like, the landing pads that it would be very frustrating running boxes. Okay, it's gotta be back up there. I'm wrong. Unless it's behind here, which it does not appear to be. Rest and relax. Yeah, okay, it's upstairs. I'm just dumb. God damn. Oh, whatever. Actually, yes I do. If we want to do the 890 jump mission, I need armor. Because all I have is light. And that's not gonna cut it. Oh, not much for selection out here, huh? It's all light. Why is it all light? We need to talk about your selection, lady. If I could pull my knife out and stick it in your temple, I would. You've grossly neglected your duties to this station. Just follow the other player. They know where they're going, right? I swear to God, did I just go full circle? No, this is a food court. Okay, that's cool. Hey Necron, how's it going? Is this spooky? Good morning, guys. The ship carrying our new supplies out of 30k. Would be unfortunate. I'm going backwards. I'm stupid. Oh my god, cat, please stop. Oh my god, it was right here. I'm so fucking dumb. God damn it. Alright. I think take the freelancer for now, and then we'll see. Does the Cyclone fit in a freelancer? Does anybody know offhand? I haven't tried to use a freelancer in a long fucking time. So I honestly don't know if it'll fit in there or not. So Necron, this build is way better than the last one, yesterday's build. But it's still kind of having 30k issues here and there. Like it, and a lot of the random bugs aren't fixed still as well. Like if I were to try to use the ladder to enter my freelancer right now, I would end up inside of the ship. Stuff like that. It's still a pretty rough 3.8 build. The servers are still not what I would call reliable. So I'm really hoping that they can kind of like nail down some of these ridiculous... Oh, god damn it. Why do I do that? I keep pressing F right there and the door opens automatically. I'm really hoping they can nail down some of these issues before they go on holiday break, because it would be nice to play around with Star Citizen over the break. But if they don't fix this, I'm going to be playing Elite. Because like right now, it's really not playable yet. Like I don't want to get on a game and be able to play it for like 40 minutes before it crashes and I have to start over again. That isn't enjoyable. So I'm hoping that it gets resolved and gets better, but we'll have to see. I need to fucking tune the shit out of this fucking look ahead mode. This stuff is so bad with default slider settings. That doesn't even matter right now. Fuck, man. I should have looked at what I had it set to before. Alright, Tulevsky, to car.
Thank you. Please visit again.
Oh, bring back the thingy for Levsky. Alright, whatever, this is too much time. We don't have that kind of time on these servers. Oh, fucker. I swear to God, Poe. Stop getting in everything, you little butthole. Oh, okay. So if you haven't played since 3.2, 3.7 Live is very, very, very fucking playable compared to 3.2. Like, light years better. 3.8, which is the current build, is very rough right now. I'm hoping that they get it tuned out by the time it goes to live, but it might not. It might be kind of a mess. Actually, I don't think they're going to go to live before holiday break. What they'll probably do, I'm guessing, is Friday make it open PTU. So I would probably like not have a whole lot of expectations for 3.8 in the near future, but if you want to check out Star Citizen right now, 3.7 is a vast improvement over what you played last, if 3.2 is the most recent time you've jumped in. Yeah, same, Shadow. Like, why? Why does it need to orient? It literally makes no sense that, like, it rolls to a certain plane to jump. Like, you don't have a plane in space. That it's silly that it needs to roll a certain alignment in order to jump. It literally should not matter. My issue with Epic is, like, the China shit is obviously very frustrating, right? And I think it's kind of shitty that they use Epic as, like, a fucking how to mine people's data and shit. Whatever. China aside, one, I don't want another launcher. It's the same reason that I'm, like, pissed off about Disney Plus and what other ones are coming. Fox had a streaming service coming. I don't know if they still are after getting bought out by Disney. Like, it was nice. Netflix was convenient. I wanted Netflix because it was one thing and I could go on there and watch movies. Yeah, they didn't have everything I wanted to watch, but it was one library where I could see the majority of movies that I wanted to watch legally, right? And then same thing with Steam. Steam was convenient because all my games were in one place. And then slowly the developers started coming out with their own launchers. So yeah, the game's on Steam, but when you launch it, you launch their launcher, and then you have to download the game through their launcher, and then you launch the game. Then Epic comes around, and they're like, oh yeah, we're like Steam too. We're gonna buy out all these fucking games and make people have to fucking come play over here. Like, I don't want to reward Epic and their bullshit by, like, buying out titles and trying to force people, basically paying to win the launcher platform war. Like, I'm not gonna reward that. So if there's a game that's an Epic exclusive, I either completely write it off or I wait for it to not be an Epic exclusive, because I would never stoop to alternative means of playing a game that went to Epic, right? Because that would be illegal and bad. I cannot mirror your thoughts there, Adama. I definitely have a problem with the 30Ks every 10-15 minutes. Like, you just can't get anything done, you know? Like, that's my issue. Like, if I want to get on there, it's because I want to do something. And usually, like, I'll try to test or confirm issue council reports while I'm doing other things. But, like, I still want to do something, right? Like, CIG doesn't pay me. I'm not here to test everything. That's not my job. Like, if it's a convenient thing where I run across the bug, then yeah, sure, I'll report it. But otherwise, I'm here to play the game and enjoy something, right? Like, you know, it's obviously good to help the game out or whatever, right? With in terms of like development and stuff like that, catching bugs that they aren't aware of. But like the vast majority of bugs, they're fucking aware of. And then on top of that, like it weirds me out when people act like it's like your responsibility to go onto the PTU and just chase down bugs and stuff. And it's like, no, that's not, no. Like all pretext of that went out the window when they started selling access to the PTU for subscribers. Like, no, they know what they're doing. No, please stop. Yeah, exactly, Allison. Like that's my issue with it, right? Is Netflix was amazing back in the day because like there was so much stuff there, and it was the only thing of its kind. I mean, you had Hulu kind of like coming onto the scene slowly, but not really getting a lot of traction like Netflix did at first. So like all these what do you call it? Movie studios were offering their content to Netflix, right? And I mean, again, you didn't have literally every movie or show you wanted to watch, but a lot of them were on Netflix. So it was super convenient. Yeah, I have no problem paying, you know, what was Netflix was like $7 a month back then to have that many movies to watch versus shady alternatives to watch them, right? Because I mean, like there are some shows that like I'll buy DVD box sets for and stuff like that, but it's got to be a show that I'm like really into, and those are very few and far between. Oh, duh. And then cable, like I'm not gonna spend $100 for cable when there are literally like maybe 4 or 5 channels that I actually want to fucking watch. But of course, those 4 or 5 channels aren't actually like in any of their like normal bundles that would have had like cable at like a reasonable price, right? So fuck that. So Netflix was perfect. And then everybody else looks at Netflix and like, oh shit, man, this works great. Look at all the fucking money these guys are making. Let's make our own platform. And it's been an ever more diluted fucking thing from there, and it's so frustrating because now I'm like, well, cool, this show I like is on this platform, this show I like is on this other platform, this one's over here, and it's just super frustrating. We got Airfare and a Prospector. Okay, we probably didn't need to worry about getting killed. Like, this is the shit that pisses me off. Like, it's so fucking tedious to stop. Alright, where is that fucking hangar door? It's over there, so let's do this. Honestly, I feel like my frame rate's gone down, if anything, in 3.8. Oh, any day now, Vladimir. Any day. Any day now. Prime has Airwolf. Holy shit. I haven't watched Airwolf since I was like a little tiny kid. I don't go to the theater at all, Hendrik, so like that's a big thing for me is like which streaming services end up with what movies. because I just have no desire to spend like $15 to go see a fucking movie. Like that's buying a movie prices. Fuck that. I don't know why I went in here. Man, I don't think I've ever actually called a vehicle from here. I'm not entirely sure where the ground terminals are. That's kind of crazy. More lean-in AI. It's always important. I mean, for me, Amazon Prime is like the way to go, personally. Just because, like, I use it for shipping already anyways. I doubt we can fit a rover in there, right? We'll try the Cyclone first.
There. All set.
I use Prime anyways for shipping and some of the deals, right? But so for me, having Prime Video is like cherry on top. And like honestly, Amazon Prime Video has really gotten better with like its originals and its selection of like movies and shows you can watch. Buddy, your Dur is about to fly off without you. Get in here right quick.
Following plan systems. System check.
Thank you. Please visit again.
Driving ground vehicles in this game literally gives me a fucking migraine. Which says a lot. I can literally sit on Elite Dangerous for like hours and hours and hours with a fucking VR headset and I'm fine. And as soon as I start driving these things, I'm just like, oh. Ah. Yeah, like, I mean, that's a big one for me is that, like, I just want to sit at home and watch these things, right? Like, it's more comfortable. I don't have to deal with, like, other people. I don't have to worry about, like, the movie getting ruined by somebody bringing a kid that clearly is not ready to be at a movie theater or anything like that. Not that, like, I mean, like, I have kids, right? So, obviously, I get it. But it's not something that I want to deal with. Fuck, man. I'm gonna need a bigger boat. Or we can take a buggy. Fuck, man. Whoa, easy boy. Where are you going? Hey. Stop. Alright. Let me think here. Oh, we should have a Connie. I should have a Connie loaner. Alright, you stay there, Cyclone. I will be back for you. Yeah, like Rise of Skywalker, I'm not going. I'm not going to that. I don't even know if I'll watch it when it's free on, I was about to say Netflix, but Disney Plus. Yeah, just no. I'm so over the new trilogy. Evidently that makes me a misogynist. Because I don't support the new trilogy, but okay. Customs. Right? Yeah, customs. Look, I could make it fit, but the problem is I don't think I can pull out. And that's a problem. Because we need to be able to pull out afterwards, so.
There. She'll be waiting for you in the hangar.
I've seen like mixed things on what Hamill has or hasn't said about the new trilogy. I would have so much respect for Mark Hamill if he like legit just came out and said they're bad. They're bad. I mean, I hope he does, right? Like, because it just took something that, I mean, is essentially his legacy, right? And just fucking shit all over it in every way, shape, and form. Just so bad. I'm sure, right? Like, I'm sure it's part of his contract that he has to, like, market it and all that other bullshit. It just sucks, man. Like, I don't know. Like, because I grew up with Star Wars, you know? That's one of the few franchises that, to a lot of people, they have, like, Star Trek that they're so passionate about. And for me, it was Star Wars. So, like, it just really sucks seeing what they're doing with the whole thing.
System check.
Let me out.
Hangars open, and the flight path's clear. Go ahead.
The cock knocker. That was so unexpected. I mean, I should have known better when I started watching that movie for the first time, but I don't think I saw the credits or anything like that, so I didn't see that Carrie Fisher was in it. I didn't see that Mark Hamill was in it. So when the cock knocker shows up, dude, it was just like, oh, fuck. Now this movie is complete. Did I raise my gear? Oh, okay. I fucking hate landing these things because their gear is just so precariously positioned that like half the time you go boing and your face fucking ends up on the ground instead. That gonna be obstructed? That should be okay. Alright. Oh, my dude, Pawpaw. I binge watched that entire season as soon as it came out, man. As soon as it came out. I'm not fucking around with No Expanse. I love that show. It's so good. I never got into the original Battlestar Galactica. I shamefully will admit that my experience with Battlestar Galactica was I was in Iraq and somebody had one of the DVDs for the new, like the sci-fi reboot or whatever. And that was the first time I experienced Battlestar Galactica. And I was like super, super caught up with it at the time. Like I was like so into it. Who are the final Cylons? Oh my god! Like I was so into that show when it first came out. Even despite Katie Sackhoff's attempts at making me want to hate that show, I was just so engrossed in that show. Actually, there were a lot of things about that show that, like, looking back, I'm like, man, I hate Battlestar Galactica. Like, the president was, like, the most... Laura Roslin was the most ridiculous bitch ever. Like, she was such a fucking hypocrite with, like, oh, yeah, the Cylons, we need to murder every one of them, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, like, completely unwilling to... like see that like a lot of the shit that she hates them for, she literally does herself. Okay, there's gotta be a pop the old belly open button here somewhere. The fuck? Alright then, I guess we're opening it from the inside. And then, like, the whole... I can talk about Battlestar Galactica, right? Like, what the fuck was that? Nobody's gonna be bothered by Battlestar Galactica spoilers, right? I mean, that's like... God, how long ago? 15 years ago? The whole Starbuck plotline was just more and more and more ridiculous as it like went along into like the final seasons or whatever. Ooh, that was sketchy. Could have killed myself there. And then like the show finale with Starbuck, I was like, what? Okay, but what the fuck happened? How? Why? Like none of it made sense. It bothered me so fucking much. I'm gonna have to drop the elevator in order to even this fucking thing out. Oh my god, this is such a process. Ah! All because of one little rock. Alright, jack her up. No, it didn't do it this time. Oh, you fuckers. Quick, vault. No? Alright. Fucking damn stupid ass fucking motherfucker game. Where's the up button? There we go. I mean, I really liked a lot of the what do you call it? I liked a lot of the show. But there was a lot in that show that just infuriated me. Like, sometimes the writing would just have the characters doing the most absurd shit where you're like, really? Come on. Seriously? Alright. We'll just slide it over 20 feet. Wait, no. Yeah, the pacing definitely, there were times when it was really frustrating. Okay, Cyclone, I'm coming for you finally. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I know I made you wait here for like ever. We're gonna put you in the hole now. Finally. Tumbrel. Don't you do some fucking weird shit. Nice. It's a Christmas miracle. Don't say that shit, Adama. I swear to God. Oh, don't say that. Yeah, I heard BioWare's busy. Evidently, they're completely revamping Anthem and also working on a new Mass Effect game, which I hope they do, right? Like, I don't think Andromeda deserved half the shit it got. Like, obviously the animations were terrible and it should be critiqued for that, but like, overall, I enjoyed the rest of the game. The story felt kind of recycled, like they were just copying the old Mass Effect formula, but I definitely don't think that, like, Andromeda was bad enough that it should have killed the franchise, like it seemed to have done.
Landing gear raised.
Throwing me off. The 30Ks are a little bit better, Mr. V. Like, a little bit. So it seems to be like an hour, somewhere around there, that you get on a server. Whereas the last patch was literally every 10-15 minutes. back to microtech. All right, Scotty. Give her all she's got.
Quantum drive is now on.
Really, Casey? Oh, that's crazy, man. Like, I feel like the gameplay was good. If you like Mass Effect 3, like the way it played, then Andromeda is just like an overall improvement. Oh, God. But the animations and the graphics were definitely like a step backwards. It was like going from Mass Effect 3 to Mass Effect 2, maybe even 1 at times in terms of graphics and animation quality. But like gameplay wise, it definitely felt like a step forward. Story wise, it felt kind of lazy. Okay, raging in chat. Poor babies. And I mean, if you got it for $5, it's definitely worth playing. Yeah, like that. So that was my big issue with the storyline in Mass Effect Andromeda, is like it felt like they were setting up to basically just copy the Reaper formula with like a new big bad that we don't yet know about, like at the end of Andromeda. Like if they had a successful Mass Effect Andromeda and then rolled into number 2, I have every faith that whatever that fucking penis face dude's name was is actually working for like some big bad power out in that galaxy. And then eventually, like, in 2, we probably would have, like, midway through the game found out about him and then been like, oh, man, shit, there's this really big bad guys coming. Oh man, you missed out. The multiplayer Mass Effect 3 was a lot of fun, honestly. If you're into that kind of gameplay, right? Like I really enjoy like swarm wave survival games. So like I had a ton of fun with Mass Effect 3 co-op. I don't think it'll be a dead end. I think Andromeda is going to get a sequel. I'm afraid to go look at it, honestly. Let's see. At least it didn't fall out or start jumping up and down in the cargo hold. Look at it. Reliably stable, mostly. Maybe a couple little ups and downs. This is serious progress, guys. We're going to be full release any day now. Oh man, I remember back when the Aquila or the Connies were like such a big deal. Like they were just so fucking cool, like the best ship in the game. And everybody's like, oh man, I wish I had a Connie. What the fuck? Okay. I don't know what the deal is with that. That's weird. Now I get Connies as like loaners for other ships, and I'm like, nope, nope, don't care about you. I will literally never use you. Yeah, I suspect that's what's going to happen, Mr. V. Like, it would be insane for them to push this to actual live servers and replace 3.7, because there's no way that this build is going to be stable. Not in 3 days. Not to a point that, like, it's suitable for live release. I think it'll be suitable for open PTU by Friday, and then when they come back from vacation, they'll probably hotfix some outstanding issues, and then push it to live. I mean, that's what they traditionally do, but like I just feel like they're so far behind on this. Like, there's no way. They would have to do like open PTU today, somehow fix a fuck ton of problems, and then go live in what, 3 days? Technically 2 days. I don't think it'll happen. That's what I was kind of wondering, if they could do that, Lustus, but I don't know if they will. Yeah, that's kind of what I mean, Jan. Like, a lot of people are like, oh well, they're stress testing it. It's in the patch notes. They're stress testing it, but like, this, like, the problems in 3.8 aren't stress testing. It's not stress testing it. That was a really, really sly thing to add in there on their patch notes, because it kind of gave them like the same, what do you call it, immunity to criticism that they normally have with like their game in general, where they're like, oh, pre-alpha, and all the fucking fanatics latch onto that, and anytime you say anything bad about the project, they're like, oh, it's pre-alpha. So, you know, 3.8 is just a clusterfuck, and it was a clusterfuck in Evocati. So as it's going to PTU wave 1, they're like, oh yeah, we're stress testing. This may be more unstable than normal. So now all the fucking fanatics are like, oh no, it's because they're stress testing. As soon as they flip a switch, it's going to be good. They're just stress testing it right now. And it's like, okay, sure thing, buddy. If that helps you sleep at night, you fucking lunatic. That's what I mean, Adama. It's not the terrible like shit isn't stress testing. Like, Miles Eckhart allegedly crashes the server every time. I don't know if that's true or not. I haven't tested it. Maybe that's something to do next time we get a 30K. We'll go see if that actually crashes the server. People were saying the 890 jump mission did it, but I don't know if I believe that, because I did the 890 jump mission and it didn't crash the server. So maybe it's like sometimes. I don't know. But yeah, I don't buy the whole stress testing bullshit as like why everything in this patch is fucked up. Yeah, I agree, Dino. Like, and you know, it's unfortunate that BioWare seems to have this trend of like having 30 different ideas for what they want to do with the game, and then like last minute trying to make an actual game when the deadline comes up, like they did with Anthem and evidently did with Andromeda. Like, it's sad to think back, like, what would Andromeda have been like if they had said, okay, we're not going to try this huge open world sandbox game, and we're gonna stick with what works in Mass Effect, and let's make a new game. Go. Like, I can only imagine the quality would have been so much better. Let's see. Holy fuck, Connie, chill. Just gonna jump around the planet really quick and see if like there's a certain one that has something slightly better looking.
Quantum drive is now off.
Which is gonna be kind of hard to tell because of the fucking dark side of the planet. Fuck! That wasn't very well thought out. Oh, whoops, we're still in hover mode. I haven't messed with the 600i since 3.7 now.
Quantum drive is now on.
I'm so torn on the 600. So like, I really like the 600i visually, even though I know a lot of people don't. At first, I was kind of not a fan of the fact that it got bigger, but after a while, I was like, okay, you know what? That's cool. It makes the price tag feel a little bit better, slightly. But the weapons are kind of like frustrating. And then like the cargo size in that ship is so fucking small and bullshit. Like the 600i's cargo space is pathetically small compared to what it should be for a ship that big and expensive. And then the fact that it doesn't have a parasite bay is also a major, like, okay, well, why would I want to use this? Like, the Connies get the fucking Merlin. Merlin. The Connies get the Merlin. The Carrack gets the fucking Pisces. And then the 600i is like, oh, yeah, well, I can fit a rover and, like, what, 40 STU of cargo. That's pretty... Watch out. It's so fucking frustrating. No. Have I ever tried the 890 jump mission or the 890 jump in general? Yeah, exactly, Damo, right? Like, okay, cool, it's luxurious, I guess, right? But what does that mean for gameplay? Like, nothing. Like, it literally means nothing for the 600. Especially if you're using it as an exploration ship, like, okay, cool, it's a luxurious exploration ship. That means fuck all. If you're using it as the VIP transport, then okay, maybe, but like VIP transport missions and stuff are probably at least 3-4 years out from even being something that they're talking about, much less like having any actual use. Like the ship just literally, the 600 is just so like lost in what it needs to do. Like what it is, how it's going to fit into the game, all of that shit. I mean, honestly, like, I would even be fine with, like, saying, hey, you can fit like a 100 series as a parasite craft for the 600. Like that would make it somewhat more tolerable, right? Like at least then it has a parasite craft, so you're not forced to fly around a planet in a 600. Like that's a little fucking excessive. Like what I'm doing right now, I don't want to fucking do this. It's huge. It's ridiculous to have to fucking try to fly around a planet in these bigger ships because they're just so cumbersome to use. Its gameplay will be emergent. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much, I would say, the majority of what the 600 and 890s have been used for so far. I would bet money that it's been majoritively ERPing. No, the Anvil shuttle does not fit into the 600i. The Merlin doesn't fit into the 600i unless you like do some real shenanigans with loading it. Yeah, I think the 600i was used for flexing that EPing for a while. And then the 890 came out and it was like, okay, well, the 600i is now not exactly the most luxurious status symbol in the game, and it functionally is pretty bad as well. So now when you see somebody in a 600i, you just kind of like feel sorry for them. Fuck, I really wish I could tell, like, what was over here. Because this shit looks like all ice. Maybe that bit right out of here? Guess we'll see. I think the Avenger is still pretty decent, Rod, personally.
Engines critical.
Yeah, I think the 600 looks really good. Interior wise, it's kind of there's a lot of wasted space, like so much wasted space from like head to toe, up to down. It's definitely a very underutilized ship. And it's a shame because like I think it's one of like the best looking, but I'm also like very Origin style biased. Yeah, that's kind of like, that was a big draw for me. Dino on like the Retaliator, right? Like when the Retaliator was originally pitched, it like screamed space submarine, right? So I was really, really hoping that like that's what we were gonna get out of the Retaliator, was a game that like, or a ship that really felt kind of like a submarine. Yeah, I'm really excited for the mole. It would be nice to get that in game sooner than later. I obviously want it for shenanigan purposes, but I think in general, it's a really cool looking ship. And it's nice seeing one of those, what do you call it? It's nice seeing an industrial ship coming out that actually like fits in the game right now versus like all the industrial ships that don't really have gameplay mechanics, but they keep pumping out concepts for them, right? So I'm like really excited for the mole because it actually makes sense. Yeah, and I'm pretty happy with its size too. Like it actually looks like a decent sized ship. I'd love to see one in person, but unfortunately, I don't think CIG likes me enough to what do you call it? To cater to my streaming like they do some of the other content creators. Hopefully not, Archer. Hopefully not. I'm hopefully a lot more awake than I was the other night. We'll see. It's one of the kind of frustrating things about Microtech right now because there aren't any like on planet POIs besides New Babbage. So if you want to go look at like any other part of the planet, the time to like actually fly down to the planet is atrociously long right now. And this is all fucking snow. God damn it. Oh, what? That might not be like right underneath us. It's gonna be a pain in the ass to switch the vector off. Come on. Keep moving.
Engines critical. Engines critical.
God damn. Come on, baby. Get up to center screen, please. And we're there. Go. All right. Now we just gently glide down into the planet. Yeah, right, Casey. Very, very, very realistic space sim. God, I don't even know. You know, it's funny because like, and it's only a problem on Microtech right now, but it's funny because they speed up the quantum travel time so much, but then because you exit quantum at Microtech so far out from the planet that it basically doesn't even matter that they sped up the travel time because you spend it getting down to the planet anyways. But hey, at least it looks pretty, right? I don't know. I guess like I'm just a pessimist. Whereas like a lot of other backers are like, oh my god, Microtech, it's so beautiful. And then I'm just like seeing how like nice the planet looks just makes me kind of sad because there's just nothing to really do on them still. Like sitting in that valley earlier when we logged back in with the Herald, like it's just such a pity you can't do something with that space. Like you can't build anything, you can't do missions there. There's no missions or anything. There's no procedural content to come across. You just, you know, taking screenshots. Yeah, exactly, Mr. B. Like it's literally just like, oh, cool, another wallpaper background. Oh, that's not forest at all. It's gonna be tundra. No, it's shaving all my descent. Right. I really miss like 3.4, I think it was 3.3, where decoupled like maintain in atmosphere. Like it's so annoying that it slows you down in decoupled just because you're in atmosphere. Like why? That I no. God damn it. Like I just wanted to fall, you know? Let's see. I don't know if it'll actually give me the information that I want if I do this, but
Engines are off.
let's see. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Goose. We're going into a flat spin. Maverick's heading out to sea. Oh, we're going the other way now, huh? Alright. See, like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, you turn your engines off and suddenly your altitude doesn't read. You don't get any kind of readout on, like, your indicated airspeed. Like, why? That doesn't make any sense. That shit shouldn't be engine dependent to have that information on your HUD. I'm still powered up. I should have all of that shit on my HUD still. That's really fucking frustrating. Oof. Holy fuck, them lights. God damn. That would actually be pretty funny to do, Dino. I would actually like legit enjoy seeing a bunch of people do that. I think the only problem would be is how long it takes for you to go from atmosphere to ground. This is the what do you call it? The rotated reverse Crazy Ivan, actually. Oh, we're getting some downward dip now too. Watch out. Oh yeah, that's right, Alex. Well caught. I completely forgot about that move. I guess that would be kind of like the Adama maneuver then. Yeah, this cockpit is hideous. This is a peak CIG how to ruin a cockpit with struts everywhere for no fucking reason. Oh, we're really pitching down now. Alright, probably a good idea to turn the engine back on now. Yep.
Engines
Yes.
are on.
Holy shit, easy. Oh yeah, we were a lot lower than I thought we were too. Is this... I can't tell if this is a storm that we're in, or if it... Is it coming ahead? It's weird because, like, you couldn't see it when we were above it at all, which is weird.
Landing complete.
Alright, we nailed it, guys. Fucking Constellation of Killer commercial. Boom. That's a wrap. Why is that not... Oh, I don't think I bound that right.
shields are off.
I mean, that's kind of like a... Oh, shit. Nope, not that. That's kind of like a CIG tradition, though, isn't it? To, like, loosely interpret realism, but not get it right. This is storm driving, huh? Oh my god. So I really wish that you guys could see my whole screen right now. Because the like moisture on my helmet overlay only covers like, God, what's the normal aspect ratio? Was it 29 something another or whatever? It basically is only covering the 1920 portion of my screen, and then like the whole sides on both ends of my monitor are like clear, like you can crisply see the cutoff. Let me see if I can boopity boop real quick. Display capture. Nope. Other monitor. Oh, actually, I can't do that. I've got to move it over here. Otherwise, it'll be all warped and fucked up. This. No! What'd you do? Oh no. I moved something. I don't know what I moved. Alright, well, that's unfortunate. I think I'm gonna fuck that up. Okay. So this is what you guys see, right? Is essentially this. Obviously it's a little bit different because of it being in paint, right? But this is what I see off to the sides of my monitor on both sides. See how the whole like wet wicking only covers like what a normal resolution monitor is, and then because I'm on retard ultra wide, on the ends of my monitor I just see like normal clear. This shit's funny. Alright, let's pop that down and then see if I can move that back or not. Oh no, I broke it. Alright, I really broke it. Oh well. So really I just need to like turn sideways like this, and then I can drive with a clear unobstructed view during a storm. Not that good though. Fucking rocks, man. Whoa, 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 stop. Cease and desist. Not again. I can't. No! I'm in the rock. Come on. This is gonna be a little bit of a complication because usually the fix is to get out and then get back in, and most of the time these things try to right themselves. But I don't know how I can do that if it's inside of this fucking boulder. Alright, let's go with...
4 shields.
Power off.
Tonga land systems. System check.
Fuck.
Weapons system is off.
Against my better judgment, let's try getting out. Are we in the rock? Or are we on top of it? I can't tell. We're on top of it. Nice. Alright, now we wait for it to rotate back around. Any minute now. Oh, alright, thank you. Ah. Oh my god. No, I don't want to do that. Damn, I really fucked it up. Alright, hold on a sec.